Good evening, everyone. Today is the 30th of March, and we are so excited that you all are all here. And today we have a very exciting presentation. We're going to be talking about delegation and also helping you to find new leaders as you work from home. So today's tips will all be about working from home, and you know the acronym that's going around the internet, WFH, working from home, right? So if you see that in my presentation, you know what it means, you know what that's all about. And I'm very excited that you are all here. I'm going to start the presentation right away because we're going to talk actually about a lot of different things. And last week we went right into our mentoring at the end, so our call went a little bit long. I want to make sure that we have enough time to see all of you. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for being here, and let's get started. So for those of you who don't know me, or you're here for the first time, or someone invited you to this Zoom call and you're thinking, why am I here? I'm Elena Jordan, and I've been working with essential oils for about almost 15 years now. And I'm working with doterra for about, I guess, 7 years, and leading this team call for almost the whole time. So if you're here for the first time, there's tons of resources for you. Welcome to the call. Welcome to this team. We're so happy to have you. I want to say thank you to our Presidential Diamond team, all of the members that get on this call every single week, who lead their teams, who are guiding them. We're happy to have you. And they're really the backbone of what goes on every week. So I'm kind of the talking head, if you will, but they're the people that are out in the fields, as I am too, but in all different regions of the world. And I just want to make sure that everyone knows how much I appreciate the hard work that they do every week. So working from home, WFH tips to keep building now with less stress. So I know we've got a lot of people in Diamond Club who want to be able to support you. And for those of you who don't know about Diamond Club, you want to make sure that you're reaching out to your leaders and your team members. You've got some team members that are going through what I'm going to call a leadership training program. And that allows them not only to give extra gifts and prizes to people that enroll during this time, it's going to provide them with some monetary benefit, maybe during the program, maybe after the program, certainly as their teams begin to grow. And the programs are slightly different in different regions, so I'm not going to go into detail about how many enrollments or whatever, but right now you are able to enroll people online. So that's why this call becomes super important. And I had a request from several of the leaders if I could talk today a little bit about Zoom callings and actually how to host a Zoom call if you've never done it before. And I know it seems a little bit daunting, and you may be looking at this Zoom call and saying, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Don't worry, it's okay. You can do something that's going to work for you. This is a different sort of a presentation because it's really trying to help a lot of people get a lot of information really fast. But you have your own personality and your own strengths, and you really do have something to say to other people and to lead them during this time where many, many people are feeling uncertain. So hold on, we've got some tips for you. I want you to get out your pencil and paper so you can write a couple of things down. Here's the other thing. If I'm talking too fast or you're thinking, what is she saying? Take a screenshot, use your phone, take a screenshot of the screen, and I'm happy to translate it to help you later if that's an issue. So hang on. Okay, the ideas expressed in this book about essential oils are primarily from the book Essential Oils Healthcare for Today, A Beginner's Guide. And you've heard about this book for many years now, just trying to point you in the direction of great materials. The other book that you know that I use extensively, both the book and the app, are the Essential Life book, which I don't have here, but I'll have to add it in next week's presentation. Okay, so today we're talking about 5 levels of training, and this seems like kind of a dull first slide, you know, you're looking at this office, no one's in the office because they're all working from home. And while you may not work in an office like this on a regular basis, you may be facing the same type of isolation as this office is showing. And we're going to be talking not only about the 5 levels of training or delegation, we're also going to be talking about oils for productivity and self-care now that you're at home. So the ideas, these 5 levels are taken primarily from the presentation or the ideas from Michael Hyatt, his 5 levels of delegation. And he talks about this in his book about assistance or getting, hiring assistants for you at work. So if you're interested in that book or you want more information, please contact me, but he's really your guy. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. Okay, so as my business grows, I find there are a lot of questions about how to find and train builders. There's also extra work that comes with an expanded business and presence. You may be feeling this right now if you're working from home for the first time. And so I want to give you a couple of tips on how to find and evaluate potential builders. So at this point, you may be thinking, how do I evaluate somebody if I really can't come in contact with them? So I'm going to give you a couple of tips, actually 5 really good tips that are going to help you to get help the person to move to the next level and evaluate them quickly as they join your team. Okay, in the book 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss, and many of you may have heard of Tim Ferriss before, talks about using virtual assistants to support your work at home. If your business has grown recently and you're struggling to balance your home life, you may want to consider using the help of a virtual assistant. You can get as much or as little assistance as you need, from presentations and editing to help with a website or even help with blogging or making appointments. Now, I'm not going to advocate for one method or another, but if you are working from home and you're really struggling, you may want to try to get together with a couple of other leaders that are in your region. See if you can reach out to someone who maybe is out of work right now and say to them, hey, could you help us for a couple of hours a week? We could use help with, and then negotiate with that person for an hourly rate. Virtual assistants are a terrific way for you to support your business, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed right now. And many of you, and I'm talking specifically to our moms of young children, if you're at home and you're homeschooling in addition to working, this can be a lot of juggling and stress. You've taken on this new task. Many of us are not experienced teachers. We're certainly not experienced homeschoolers, although I know there are some homeschool moms on this call right now. And so you've taken on that additional task. Consider maybe looking for some help right now to relieve your stress and take away part of the burden. Okay, only you know what would be of greatest help to you. And but delegation is a skill we all need to learn as leaders. So please don't think that, oh, well, I don't like that idea that Elaine is talking about, that delegation thing. That's crazy. We need to learn how to delegate so that we can move ourselves along the continuum, or to continue to grow as leaders. We need to learn how to delegate. And I have assistants helping me right now. It's been a long process to create workflow and management and make sure things get done, but knowing your workflow is important to getting things done and relieving stress. So yes, I do use assistants, and on a weekly basis, and I encourage you to do so too, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. Okay, when we talk about choosing or finding builders, however, delegation is not as simple, and without the proper mutual understanding of what expectations are, frustration can ensue. The biggest lesson I've learned is that there must be an understanding with each person about expectations and workflow, and frequent, clear communication. So the biggest thing that I see sometimes when people either join a team or they build or they start building with someone new is they'll say, oh, well, so-and-so joined my team and I told them to go do this, this, and this, and they didn't go do it. So let's break it down so you can help a new person to succeed, and you as a leader can feel like you're empowering that person to get to the next level. Okay. So luckily, my mentor, Michael Hyatt, taught me about the 5 levels of delegation. And he's an amazing man. He's been in the in the management or the work motivation field for a long time. He owns his own firm called Michael Hyatt and Company. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook and all different sorts of things. I do get business mentoring from him, and he teaches a language, if you will, that we can use to assess each new builder and even ourselves as we grow our business. So this is not just an assessment of another person. This is also can be a self-evaluation. Okay, so no level is bad, because having the ability to and the opportunity to help another person grow is a privilege. Each level depends on your new builder's personality and direction, and each serious builder will move up the levels as time goes on. Remember, no one jumps to level 5 on the first day, so be patient, right? Okay, so now you're gonna get out your pencils and get ready to write. Are you ready? Or use your phones, it's fine. Either way is fine with me. Okay, level number 1, do as I say. Your new leader will do exactly what you tell them to and will not deviate far from instructions. You've determined what tasks and means are best for them to do to succeed. They are eager to learn. So if you have someone and you're assessing them, is this person a builder? They, number 1, should be eager to learn, and number 2, they should be able to follow easy directions and not get when predetermined tasks that are too hard for them. If you see that they're having difficulty at level 1, assess whether they're going to be a builder for you. They may be a customer or just a wholesale sharer. Let's see. Level 2. Research and report. Your new leader is able to research a topic, for example, prepare a list of prospects or understand the market in their neighborhood and report what they discover. After a discussion with you, together you'll make the decision and advise them on the best way to proceed. So I guess in this second level, we're looking at, is the person able to do some work on their own and come back and consult? Can they take direction? Those are all signs of a good leader, a good future leader. Level 3, research and recommend. And now this may be a little bit tricky. Don't give up on the person in this moment. Your new leader will research a topic, outline the options, and bring you their best recommendation. If you agree with the decision, you'll give them the thumbs up to move forward. These are the leaders that are telling you about how they want to set up meetings and with whom, and maybe even what kind of meetings, if they're going to have one-on-ones or they're going to have Zoom classes. This is a level where they're stepping out, and they may move quickly up from level 1 to level 3. You may see these happen in a matter of days, or it may take a little bit longer. Don't give up on the person, excuse me. Level 4, decide and inform. Your new leader can make a decision and then tell you what they did. You trust them to do the research, make the best decision they can, but they're still keeping you in the loop, right? You want to make sure that from time to time, at this point, at a regular basis, that you're checking in with them, that you're following up with them. Did they have the meeting that they said? Maybe you're going to them with the meeting. If it's a Zoom class, can you get online with them? Recently, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, I've never done a Zoom before. Will you do it with me? And that's been a wonderful learning experience, not only for them, but for me, because I never really shared a Zoom with anyone. So I actually have a couple of groups, including my Spanish group, where we're getting on a weekly basis now, and I get on with I get on and I set up the Zoom, and then I have the top leader from that group, and then maybe another leader who's really learning, and the 3 of us will co-lead the Zoom, and at the end we're getting a lot more people. There's a lot more excitement. The other thing is it lowers the burden, not only for me and for my downline leader, but for the new person. They don't feel as nervous, and they're seeing what's the type of thing that we're doing. Since we can't do what we usually do, which is go to the person and have the meeting, Zoom is a great substitute. And I'm going to teach you at the end of this presentation a little bit about Zoom, and then we're going to talk more about how I can help you learn more and be able to host your own meetings. But don't be afraid to ask your upline if maybe they'll co-lead a Zoom meeting with you. Level 5, act independently. Your new leader can make whatever decision they think is best. No need to report back. You have trust in them completely. They have your full support. However, as their upline leader, you want to be checking in on them to cheer them on, provide them with information, maybe a shoulder to cry on if they've had a disappointment, but you're assuming that at level 5, your leader is acting independently. These are the 5 stages of leadership. You want to make sure that they're being able to move up. And if at any time you really have questions, you can actually show them these 5 levels. They are not a secret. You don't have to keep them to yourself. You can either show this to a new leader and say to them, this is my expectation for you. May I help you? And you don't want to show them this on the first day, of course, but as they grow and they become more independent, you help them to grow through these levels. So where are you? This process of delegation never ends, my friends. It happens in families, with parents and children, with new employees, with helpers and workers of all kinds. Take a moment to evaluate yourself where you are in the delegation scale with your upline leader. So I'm going to ask you to chat in the chat and just give me a number. Where are you with your upline leader? Are you totally independent of your upline leader? So then you should put a 5. If you're asking your upline leader to kind of approve decisions, to help you make decisions, maybe you're a 3, maybe you're a 4. Do you need to move up to level 5? So evaluate yourself and then tell me in the chat. And then when we get to the end, we'll be able to ask a few more questions. Okay, then ask yourself, how can I get stronger? You may also be at different levels for different tasks. Are you a terrific enroller, but not great at follow-up? Are you a strong teacher, but can't close the sale? Take a moment now to reflect and then ask yourself, how can I get stronger? Do I need to take an online training? There are tons of online training right now. Do I not know enough about essential oils? Don't get stuck in the, I have to learn and learn and learn and learn. But get yourself, really begin to think of your mindset. Where am I? Am I at the highest level, or do I need to strengthen certain skills? Am I acting independently? And then I guess the last thing is, am I ready to help others? Am I already training others, or am I holding back for some reason because I haven't gotten to the point where I'm able to really train other people? Okay, you want to encourage, lead by example, and help your team, big or small, to grow in knowledge and capability. That's the most rewarding thing of all. You can do this. And now that you have a framework, I think it's going to be even a little bit easier. And it's going to be easier for you, I think, to evaluate new builders. How many of you have had somebody who's come onto your team and said, I'm ready to go, but they're not really able to take the steps that they need to become independent builders? This is a way for you to evaluate them and also have conversations with them about, this is the expectation if you're going to reach the highest levels. Okay, there are also essential oils you can use to help with delegation and to help yourself and your team members to go through this process. So let's take a look at those oils. So number 1, citrus oils, lemon, bergamot, grapefruit, lime, tangerine for alertness and uplifted spirits. And you're going to notice that I've been talking about citrus oils a lot during this time of quarantine. I want you to continue to use your citrus oils. They are very effective. They're powerful. Their components, primarily D-limonene, are great for detoxification, for cleaning the air inside your homes. I want you to stay healthy. Use your citrus oils. You can also try using doterra's Motivation or Citrus Bliss and diffuse in your workspace. So for a couple of days, actually, many of you know that I was in Nashville about 2 weeks ago. And when I first got home, I was feeling, I think, a little bit anxious. And within about a day or so, I started really diffusing. I don't know, constantly. I have the diffuser going in my office and one in my living room and one in my kitchen now. Mostly with the same scents, but a lot of citrus oils, and I'm using all of these. And I'm going to give you some, I'm going to just read to you for a second because I know you can see my face, of some of the reasons why you might want to use specifically bergamot. So number 1, it's great for coughs and lung support, coughs and lung support. And for that, you want to apply it to the chest maybe and the back. You can also, it's terrific if diffused. It's very good for emotional balance. So if you're feeling a little bit at sea right now, people are asking a lot of questions, I don't know which way I should be going, use your bergamot. It's a terrific essential oil for you. And as I said before, the primary constituents of all citrus oils are limonene. Okay, number 2, your mint oils. Use your peppermint, your spearmint, or your rosemary for focus, concentration, and energy. Mixed with citrus oils, these can be diffused for a clean and bright scent. And I'm going to talk specifically about spearmint because I know you all know about rosemary and peppermint. For spearmint specifically, again, respiratory issues. We want to apply it to the chest and back or diffuse. And I have to say, spearmint is a little bit milder, brighter, and fresher, perhaps not quite as heavy or strong as peppermint when you're diffusing around small children or maybe pets or animals of any kind. Spearmint could be a great choice for you. And if you're having memory issues or confusion, try your rosemary applied here at the back of the neck. Okay. And last but not least, you want to use your flower oils. Try oils like lavender, neroli, rose, or magnolia to relieve tension or emotional distress. You could try doTERRA's adaptive blend, and moving up the levels sometimes can be a challenge. It can be a challenge for you as you move up the levels. It can be a challenge for the other person. It could be a challenge as you try to instruct or help another person. So don't be afraid to use your oils and help relieve anxious thoughts. So for anxiety, again, for magnolia, for anxious thoughts, any sort of lack of energy, you want to maybe irritability. Again, you want to look for magnolia for respiratory issues, maybe sinus relief, any sort of congestion. And again, you're going to apply it on the chest, backs, and you can actually mix magnolia with eucalyptus or cardamom for additional respiratory support. So keep these in mind. Those are some tips we have for you today for essential oils. Last but not least, here's a list for all your oils in the workplace. And if you're working from home and you're trying to get, maybe you're teaching your kids. I know I have some moms on the line today on the Zoom call that have little kids, school-age kids, and all their kids are at home and they're trying to teach them all at once. So from left to right, in tune to improve memory and focus, elevation to feel confident and uplift your mood, peppermint for quick pick-me-up, on guard to clean your office surfaces and keep immunity up, bergamot for those stressful and frazzled days, balance for peace of mind and relaxation, peppermint beadlets to keep your breath fresh. I'm hearing people that are getting up and staying in their pajamas all day and not brushing their teeth. Please, people, brush your teeth. It's not that bad. You're going to be okay. We are going to get through this. I am positive that in 12 months, we're going to look back to this and say, wow, I made it through. And I have faith that all of you will make it through. And finally, past tense. Let go of tension. So if you are feeling stressful, you're having head tension, or any kind of discomfort, use your past tense. It really will help you. Okay, here's my blend for in the office. 3 drops of frankincense to support your immune system and to support your thought processes and your feelings, your emotions. Peppermint for quick pick-me-up, and your lemon for cleansing and detoxifying. So frankincense, peppermint, lemon, just a quick blend. And let's now talk about Zoom classes. Okay, so how to set up your free Zoom calls. Now, many of you have been on this call for years and years, but you may not be setting up Zoom calls for yourself. So you're attending Zoom calls, but you're not hosting Zoom calls. And I'm going to do a quick overview now on this call, the purpose of which is to help you to feel empowered. Later today or early tomorrow, I'm actually going to do a step-by-step instruction with my assistant, Julia, and we're going to get on and we're going to lead you through how to do a Zoom, how to host a Zoom if you've never done it for the first time. Now, some of you may be saying, why do I need this? This is too basic. It may be too basic for you, but I'm asking you to hold on because it may not be too basic for some of your team members. The separate Zoom call or the separate recording that I'm going to do is going to lead you through the steps for a small meeting, how to add a person, and that video you'll be able to send around to your various team members. The other thing is right now, I don't know about you, but when I get on zoom.com or zoom.us, it is so crowded and the chats are taking forever. So if you have a call or you get stuck and you're not familiar with technology, you may feel discouraged and you may feel like, I don't want to ask another person because I feel too shy. I feel like I should be already able to do this. Don't worry, we've got your back. We're going to walk you through it. So I'm going to give you a couple of steps now so you know how to set up a Zoom, a free Zoom. So for those of you who don't know, there is an option for free Zooms. So you're going to go to www.zoom.com, or you're going to go to, if you're in the US, zoom.us. And I think there are different endings for different countries, but .com will always work. And you're going to have to register there, just like you would do for any website. Give them your email address and some contact information, and you're going to set up your own account. Okay, once you've set up your own account, so you set up online, sign up online using your business or personal email, you'll be provided with a specialized link and a meeting ID to your own personal Zoom room. So it's like a new telephone number. Just think of it like that. This is like a new telephone system. Usually those numbers are 9 digits long. Sometimes they are 10, depending on, you'll for different reasons, as you can see, you will probably be provided with a single link. And each time you get on, you can actually send that link, just like giving somebody your phone number, so that they can get onto Zoom and be with you. The basic user type is free and allows you to have up to 40-minute calls with up to 100 people. So that's the catch, folks. With the free version, you have to keep your meeting short. Why? Because after 40 minutes, it will cut you off. Now, here's a little trick that I will tell you. If you're having a one-on-one meeting with another person and you're on the free version, you usually will get unlimited free one-on-one. Now, I don't know if they're doing that now because Zoom is just mobbed with people. But at the very least, with your basic user type, you get 40-minute call with up to 100 people. Here's the other thing. I have to say, when I first started doing Zooms, I started with the free version. And I trained myself to not speak too long. It's a great training process. And I think now, 8 years later, I'm very mindful of the fact that I don't bog you down by yakking for 2 hours. I want to get to the point, make the point, and then say my farewells. If they haven't learned it in 40 minutes, folks, they're probably not going to learn it, because what happens? People start tuning out. Okay. So this is what the top of, once you log onto Zoom, this is what the top bar is going to look like. It's going to say schedule a meeting, join a meeting, host a meeting. So if you are going to schedule a meeting, it's going to give you almost like a calendar, and you're going to be scheduling a meeting for some time in the future. If you're going to join a meeting, and all of you know how to join a meeting because you all got on here today, you're just going to click that button and type in the number of the link that you are joining. And then if you're going to host a meeting, this is going to be, you're going to host it right now. So the difference between schedule and host is right now, I'm going to have a meeting. Schedule means I'm going to have it sometime in the future, and it will allow you to set up the day, the date, and the time. So the top toolbar appears in the top right corner of your website. You're going to click join a meeting to join, as I said before, entering their ID, that's that number. Host a meeting to immediately host a call. Using the screen sharing mode will allow your viewer to see your screen like you can see this presentation now. And finally, schedule a meeting to schedule a call for a later time and adjust the settings to your preference. So this is a quick overview about setting up Zoom. I'm imagining if you're on here already, you already have a Zoom account. So this is not just for you. But what I will say is when we do the second or the next presentation, which I'm going to do with Julie, as I said to you, probably tomorrow morning, which will be your night for everybody who's joining me from Southeast Asia, we're going to walk the person through step by step. If you have never hosted a meeting, consider hosting a meeting with one other person. And don't be shy. Click on those buttons. Nothing will happen. You're not going to break Zoom. You're not going to be kicked out. You're not going to lose your account. Fool around with a little bit. Now that you're at home, maybe schedule a meeting with another person in your household. Maybe your husband or wife or your spouse. If you're alone, consider scheduling a meeting with a friend or with an upline or downline leader just to practice. But don't be shy. This is a wonderful way for you to get in contact with people and set up meetings. Once you've had a chance to schedule a meeting, you want to invite people. Now, once you schedule the meeting, you're going to get something that looks like an invitation, sort of like what I post for you on the WhatsApp chat groups that says you're being invited to a Zoom meeting. And then it will tell them when the meeting will be and what the link is that they need to use. So I'm going to encourage anybody who has never scheduled or set up a Zoom call to try to do one this week, even if you have to set up with your mom or your dad or your teenage son or daughter, but get in the habit of try to do that. You learn a new skill this week. If you don't know how to do that, try to schedule a meeting or host a meeting on Zoom. We may be at home for another few weeks, folks. I don't want you to be isolated. And I have to say, I want you to be able to feel like you're stepping out in leadership. And this is a small skill that you can learn right now. It really does feel good in these moments to learn different skills. So on a kind of a personal note, I've been trying almost every day since I've been home to learn something new. Zoom is not one of the things that I have been doing, but I've been doing things like cooking or sewing or watching a video, even learning something like, I don't know, juggling or a different skill. Knitting can be a great way for you to keep your stress level down and also to not feel like you're so alone. The last thing is, learning about Zooms is only one of the things that you can learn for doTERRA. You know that doTERRA has tons of training classes online about essential oils, about leadership, about learning, about growing a team. So stay in contact, get onto the doTERRA website when you have a chance, but don't get bogged down and not reach out to others. This is a time when we really want to reach out to others and make them or help them to understand that we're here and we're here to help them. So I think that's the end of my presentation. I'm going to encourage you to follow on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And if you don't know and you're not on Instagram, we've been running all kinds of specials throughout quarantine, almost one a week, different sorts of contests. Encourage your friends to get on, and Instagram is pretty easy to learn and to use. And on Facebook, we've been posting all the time, all sorts of links and videos, and I know you all are on social media, so please consider following. Last but not least, remember you are amazing. This can be a challenging time for many of you, but I'm going to encourage you not only to know that I'm here and I'm listening. I've been trying to reach out to some of you personally. If your teams are struggling in any way or you need some advice, just reach out and send me a text message. I'd be happy to talk to you. In the meantime, reach out to your upline leaders. They're there to help you. And you have a set of really powerful upline leaders who have such courage and great hearts. And I want you to remember that we're here for you during this time of challenge. Last but not least, thank you. Thank you for having been here, taking time out of your week to be with me and to be all together, and have a wonderful week. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to actually stop the share, and I want to ask a couple of questions of the group. Let's see if I can get into the chat. Okay, so number one on the hit parade is, where are you on the continuum of what you need to know? Okay, so, and thank you for being so honest. I really appreciate it. So first of all, I have to say thank you to and good morning or good evening to our Vietnam team. So happy that they're here with us today, and I hope that we provided you with some good information. Mara says level 1, she's just starting, great. Chao Bang says level 1 in the learning stage. Eva says, so I'm gonna actually, so only 2 of you. Angie says level 3. Okay, so let me hear in the chat, where are you on the continuum? Where are you? Tell me, type in for me. So I would say that for myself, Swamby says 5. Yes, you are. Anybody doing Diamond Club is level 5. They get an automatic 5. Yi Chen says 1. Teresa says 4.5. Interesting. Okay, so that's a good thing. Megan says 1. Sihan says 5. Betty says 2. Okay. Hannah says 2. Tanya says 5. Okay, great. Eva says 1. Drake says 1. So we got a lot of ones here. Okay, Joanna says 1. Kufsuk says 2. Mayfan says 1. Ella Chakra says 2. Chow Bang says 1. Okay, so now if you're at a level 1, that means that someone else is telling you what to do and you're going to do it, and you're not leading meetings on your own, and that you're not taking that next step. So my next question to you is, Marianne, I think you're further than a 2, but that's okay. Marianne says 2. Nelma says 1. Yuki says 5. Yes, amen, Yuki, you're absolutely a 5. Where are my other leaders here online? I don't see you all. If you could type in for me, what level are you on? Yes, I am still recording, and I do mean to do that. Lynette says 5. Elizabeth says 5. Yes, absolutely. So I'm very appreciative that you've all been very honest with me. I would say I'm at a level 5, but there are certain things in my life that I'm not a level 5, right? So when we talk about those interactions with other people, with family and friends, or with training other people, we're always somewhere on the continuum. In my doTERRA business, I'm a 5. I'm helping other people to get to the level 5. And if I see someone and they want to get to the level 5, that's my goal, to help them move up that continuum. What I want to help you to do is to look at those steps and say to yourself, where is the next step? Why aren't I there? And how do I get there? So if you're a level 1, I'm going to encourage you to get to level 2. If you're a level 4, I want you to fully embrace level 5. So think about what it is that we talked about today. This is going to be recorded. You can go back and hear about all the levels again. But this is a tool for you to use, and I want you to use it wisely. Okay, last but not least, do you have people in your team? And can you train them? Do you feel comfortable, especially if you're at some of the highest levels? Can you help them to move up the level? How are you feeling in your confidence level? Can talk to me about that. Everyone in the chat, yes, I'm confident, or no, not so much. So, and is this helpful to you? So confident, yes. Can I do this? Yes or no? Tell me in the chat. Okay, not very confident yet. Tanya says yes. Teresa says yes. Great. Joanna says need to learn more. Yuki says yes. Ella says yes. Great. Yi Ching says yes. Fabulous. So even if you're not at level 5, you are able to train others, but your goal should be to continuously improve your own skills to get to level 5, right? You have to be independent of your own upline leader. So when we have people on this call, let's say, I'm ready to get to diamond. If they're not at level 5, it's going to be hard for them to be a diamond. Does that make sense to everybody now? So it really is about training yourself, about growing yourself, about understanding where you are on the continuum so that you can get to the next level. So does this all make sense to everybody? Did it help you a little bit? Sometimes a little bit of self-evaluation is hard. We look in the mirror, right? We look in the mirror and we go, ooh, I don't like what I see. But if we know how we are or where we are, we're able to improve, right? And I think part of being, if we're all still alive, we have a chance to improve and we have a chance to get better and move up the continuum. Okay, training with Zooms. Okay, questions. How many of you are already hosting, not attending because you're all on here, so I know you're all able to attend. How many of you are, you're right, Joanna, very important to self-evaluate. Amen, sister. How many of you are already hosting your own Zooms? Hosting. Tell me in the chat. Are you hosting? So Envy says yes, me. Who's hosting? Helena says me. Agatha says not yet. Okay. Sitley says not yet. Okay. Marianne says no. Okay. Betty says not yet. Nicole says me. Woo, great. Okay, we're getting a lot of responses here. That's good. Chow Bang says no. Mara says not yet. Lei Ling says not yet. Z says yes. Tan says not yet. Noriani says me. Tanya says she did her first on Saturday. Yay, Tanya! Yi Chen says nope. Ella says not yet. Lynette says not yet. Okay, anybody else? Okay, Elizabeth says yes. Joanne says tried once but was for work. Okay, but keep going, doesn't matter. If you hosted, you hosted. You got the skill and you will get better, trust me. Did my first yesterday with a mini group. Good thing, Angel, yes. Koo says not yet. Joy says not yet. Nelma Rose says hasn't. Joanna says he, okay. Angie Lee says soon. And Lee Y says not yet. Okay, so listen, folks. It's a skill like anything else. I don't know if some of you remember, and I know a lot of you have been with me from the beginning. Do you remember some of the mess ups that we used to have? The microphone would get off, we'd get kicked off the call. There was some sort of like, you couldn't see the slides. I was talking even now, sometimes, right? I have a total goof. I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was just talking and talking and nobody could see the slides. Who knows what happened? But you know what? You just keep going and you can do it. And getting in contact with people now is going to be a really good skill to have. Here's the other thing. Once you learn this skill, you can use it in other settings. Hong says, you all can do it. Yes, you can. Okay. So now I'm going to do my giveaway. We don't have any. So this recording will be on YouTube probably in the next few hours. After that, the recording for how to actually host a Zoom will be coming soon thereafter. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you, I don't think I have a lot of Spanish speakers, but I'm actually hosting a Spanish Zoom on Saturday mornings for my teams in Asia, Saturday afternoons for my teams in the US. If that's hard to get on or you don't speak Spanish, but you know someone who speaks Spanish, please look for it on YouTube. We did our second Zoom class this week and I think it was really good. It is a repeat of what happens on Monday in Spanish. So if you came to this Zoom class today, you don't have to ask me about the topics. On Saturday, it'll be the same thing all over in Spanish and a little, not using the slides, so just a lot of talking, but just to keep you informed. So if you have any Spanish speakers, or you're working in Latin America with anyone, please let them know that we have that resource. Okay, so I'm giving away today two lavender touches. And folks, I have to tell you, I have not been able to, I shipped some prizes to Singapore. Now I think it's 2 weeks ago. They still have not arrived. So you're getting your prizes courtesy of your uplines who are kind of chipping in to help me out until the prizes arrive. We're gonna pray that that box of prizes arrives fairly soon. I'm sure it's in quarantine somewhere and hopefully it will arrive. But thank you to our upline leaders who are providing prizes in the interim, and we will get those back to you. Don't worry. So our winners for today of the two lavender touches, and look, I have my notebook with me, and I have my pen so I can write everything down. And actually, somebody asked, oh, did I want to keep the camera on? And yes, I do want to keep the camera on until the end, because when I turned it off too early, some of the people on YouTube were saying, wait, did she give away the prize? Why did you cut off the camera? So now I'm keeping the camera on until the very end, until I say my farewell. So our two winners today are, hold on. Sorry, everyone. Our two winners today are Kai Yuan and Ella Kakra. Kai Yuan and Ella Kakra, you are the winners of a lavender roll-on. So I'm going to say a fond farewell to everybody on this call. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you for sharing your cameras with me today. It was so good to see everybody. I'm so happy to see that the call is really vibrant and growing. We're going to be back here next week with all of our April meetings, because next week will be the first Monday in April. We'll be talking about the monthly specials and how to get your best use from them. And then we'll be having additional calls in the rest of the month. We'll be publishing all of the topics probably within the next day or so. So stay tuned on your WhatsApp chat group so you can see what the topics will be coming up in April. But we're going to be supporting you for all the duration of the quarantine whenever you're home. So they're going to be topics that are specific to the quarantine. So have a wonderful week, everyone. And God bless, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye now.